Hi friends, what's this Tkinter window? Here is a invoice generation or a bill generation system where you can add products from a list, or I can add a new product also and create these bills. So for that you can see here I am adding a product. I can just give a quantity, let's say 5, and tell a unit price, I am saying 4. So and add it. Moment I add it, this is added to this Treeview, and the values here, the total value and the tax and the again full total is displayed. I am adding one more and adding this, and suppose say 12.67, and what's the total part? It's dynamically everything is recalculated and displayed here. So even I can add, let's add one more and go for 5 products. Now let's say 12.5 I am giving, add. Okay, now suppose there are 2 pen drives. I want to delete one pen drive here. So I can select this and delete it. Again the values are recalculated. I can add more products also. So let's go for this, and if you have backward integration is done, then all these products and all can come from a database. So the price, everything will be picked up by the system. I just have to select what's the product is, and that's all. And the quantity how much you want to add, that too, and automatically the price will be displayed here and the total price will be added to this. Now these are 3 products are added to this, and you see the tax is calculated. In between, suppose you want something more, freight or some other tax part you want to add it, you can add or subtract, whatever you can include it. That has to be coded here. Now once this is finalized, what happens? I can click the confirm button. Now once I click the confirm button, I get a unique bill number, and these 3 products are stored in the MySQL database. So this is stored. So I can generate using this bill number. I can generate it. This bill number for a time period we have displaying it. Then now it is system is totally ready for accepting a new fresh orders or fresh list. So I can just go on further adding it. I can select the product, same process I can repeat it and keep on adding the generating the bills. Now there are 2 parts. Before this there is a product which can be product table which can be integrated to this. So the product can be selected, and after this, once it is gone to the database, a bill can be generated or an invoice can be generated. So for which a separate PDF or whatever format you want, you can generate it. The previous one and the PDF generation of bill generation part, we will not discuss it. We will only restrict ourselves how this products goes and generates the bill. We'll see all this. To install this program, visit this URL. It is available in the description. Visit this and scroll down. All the functions are explained here because there are 5 to 6 functions which as independently they work, and some are called by others also. So you can just study this, and time to time we will be updating this also based on the different requirements. And here are 2 sample tables, because there are +2 invoice and +2 invoice detail. These 2 tables are to be created. You can get the SQL dump of this and further scroll down. Here the entire code is there at the last part. You can see here it is around 140-150 lines of code. So to copy that, just click here, it is copied to your clipboard, and then you can start using it. But while using, you have to take 2 care, because here this is the MySQL database connection. So you change your ID, password and database name. And if you are not using your database, then also you comment these 2 lines. If you are suppose the first part, everything will work except the bill generation part. So for that you have to comment this last function, insert data. Anyway, we'll see all those functions in details. So this function you just pass it, remove this part up to this point and write pass. So what happened, even the button is clicked, nothing is go to the database and no database call is initiated. And one more thing is, you can see here at the top there is a image here. Once you start after copying, when you run this one, you will get a error here, because at the top line you can see these 3 lines. You can see that there is a image file is used, because your path will be different, you will be using a different image. Initially you just comment these 3 lines. So what happens, without the image the script will work. You may have some slight layout issue, put some image there, accordingly adjust the grids and all. So then the script is ready for your testing and all. And first let's learn what are the different functions used and what their purpose is. We'll just understand the code here, because this is around 150 line of code, so explaining everything will be difficult, but more or less all functions we will try to learn it in detail, and layout I hope you can manage, and if you are facing any issues in that, put it in the comment section, we'll discuss further. Here you see this, first we are importing the TTK also, because Treeview we are using and the combo box, these are all part of TTK, so we'll go by that. Then this is our data SQL alchemy we are using to connect to our database, and before that one date we are using, because when you click the confirm button, along with the the bill number is a total is taken and the bill number is generated. Same time in another column the today's date is also stored. Why it is stored? Because subsequently you want to know what is my last week sell, what is this month sell, what was the yesterday's sell. All those reporting we can generate by using the date column. So that is the purpose we are storing, and that is this is the library we are using. And here is that database our connection, and in this you can see that we are creating the variable or connection object here. We are giving the user ID, here password, and the database name here. So in your case you have to change this. But note that if you are not using your database, say you are learning, you are not gone to the database level, no problem, comment these two lines, whatever it is, these two lines, line number 4 and 6, and come down. Once you click the confirm button, then only this part, this function is called at the end, insert data. This part you can remove it and put pass here. So that is the only thing you have to do if you are not using the database. Now let's understand bit our layout here. So this is our window, height and width we have declared it here. Then little font, because you can see here the fonts, different styles are used, this font style and here the font styles are different, that's what you have used. Then here is the image what you have displayed at the top, this particular part, that in your case this will, once you copy this, you will get error because this image won't be there. So for that you can comment this line or place your own image. Once you place your image, based on the width and height, you may face some little layout issue, you have to accordingly adjust it. Now the product, first is this, all these labels are there, product, quantity and on. Here we are written that one, the product. Then we have created a product list. This list you can see here, this is what the available as option of this combo box. We have used a combo box because if something is not there in the list also we can add it. Say I have put something which is not available in this particular list, I can go ahead and 12.3, I am clicking add, so it is there. So this particular product, but this product list you can pull it from a database also. Say in that advantage is, suppose something is out of stock, your system, you can run another program. So this finally what output this we get it from the database, we can restrict, say keyboard is out of stock, so keyboard won't appear here in the list. That is the main idea. Now that you can further backward integration can be done. Now there is a string variable, every output is or the entries whatever we take, we store it in a string variable. For this the product string variable, then the combo box was this, it's a part of TTK. Then value we have cut to p list or product list, which is here. So that data is taken. Now text variable we are connected to this string variable here, that we have placed it. Then the quantity we have kept it, it's the label. Then the value we have kept a quantity, a int variable or integer variable, because quantity has to be a integer always. So and that you have connected it here, and the default value we kept it as 1. There is no point in keeping a 0 here. So now next, what's the price? Price you can see we have used a double variable, because price can be, fractions can be, decimal places will be there. So you have used that, and that is like that. Now what happens when we click the add button? Here is the button that we call the function myAdd. MyAdd is the first important function. Here it is, myAdd. What happens in the myAdd? We'll just finish the layout, then we'll go to that one. Here you can see we have added little bit of style to it, and to our Treeview here, what's this background color, this body color, rose color, everything. And exclusively one tutorial is there for that, how you will color all these styles and all in a Treeview. You can read that, and if you don't want, you can remove these lines also, style. You can go ahead with the default one. This is where we start our Treeview. In our Treeview we have fixed our this is the mode, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are the columns we have given? The width also you can keep on changing as per your requirement. The headings we have given, and these are all the text whatever it is to be going there, and sorry, this is the Treeview. We finished it off. Now we have come down to bottom part of the layout here, this particular part. So you can see here we have written text, and then color we have given foreground as blue, tax is 10%, here it is, and this is where our labels, these are all labels actually, and these labels will control it, what the output will be. Then these are total the front, this is the total value. You can see here foreground is red, we have given it is red color font, so this is the total value is displayed. Now here is our this is the delete. There is one delete button here. Unless you select a row here, this will be in disabled condition. And there is one more delete all also. That we will see shortly. These two buttons you just see. And one important thing is that this B4 button, which insert data creates. Once you click the confirm button, then insert data function it calls, and that is where our data goes to our database. So a bill number is generated. Using that bill number, all the products whatever we have kept on the Treeview will be inserted using that against that bill number. So there will be multiple products on a single bill number. That is what is the idea. Now you can just scroll down here. Then the message here, this is the particularly here you want to give the bill number to display that yes, bill, that is a confirmation that the bill is created. So that confirmation will give it here. So with the bill number and how many products are added. This is just to say you have 4 products in the Treeview. So here it will be product, all 4 will be added. And then once it is added, everything will be removed and resetted to 0. Again, let's first understand what happens when how to add it. Now there are functions here. This is the function which adds the data to our Treeview. Then this is the part which frequently called. You can see this function also calls this update. This update means this button, whatever the values are there below, you see the total, the tax, and the final total. This is the subtotal. This is final total. These values are again recalculated every time a new product is added or a product is removed from the table. Now this will discuss here, and these are all the functions which are important. And here is a last, but here it is, the moment I select it, this event triggers my select. Okay, let's first see what happens when we add a data. So here it is my add function. This particular function, what it does, moment I select a product here, keyboard quantity I am saying say 5, and I am going here and putting the unit price as this, then click add. Once it is add, this particular function is called global IID, because this is the serial numbers what we are going to take it. So that is, you can replace it with your product ID also. So this is the ID, and every time, because next serial number like that, so every time the value is increased by 1, then the total whatever is displayed at the rightmost, this is calculated. This is quantity, whatever quantity we enter here, that multiplied it by price, because these are all, note that these are all string variables. So we are using get to get the value. Then whatever that we get it, multiply quantity with price and the price, then this 2, whatever we get it, we rounded it up to 2 decimal places. So you want more accuracy, you can increase this 2, or you don't want this, you can make it 0 or whatever. So this is gives me the subtotal, or the row wise total, and that we are inserting. What's this line? This line insert these values, what it, the serial number, the product whatever we are selected, and the quantity and the price, and this total it calculates here and put it. So this this is the serial number, this is the product, these are all what user has entered, and the total is calculated and one row is inserted. And the important part is my update. Now what does, then it calls the my update. What this my update does, it takes the total value what is already there and set it to 0. Fine. It's once it is 0, then it loops through all the rows. Here you see row 1, row 2. I can have multiple rows. Everything it goes and picks up the child value for the fourth one is, you can say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So starts from 0. Fourth one is the row wise total. That values it adds up and create the subtotal, and that subtotal is displayed here 74.1. you can see here, this is that one. Then based on this value, 10% is the tax. Here you can see we are just multiplying it by 0.1, means it is 10% tax. You want a different tax rate, put it here. So, and that tax part is displayed here. Just you can see here, you see the same, here it is, the tax part is displayed. And we are frequently using here the config this function, any attribute of the label or input, we can manage it by using config. There is an exclusive one video on config. You can read that. This is quite important because all our, I think one of the most frequently used function in our Tkinter. So this, the total value is calculated. Now again it is rounded to 2 decimal places and the total value is displayed here. So now the product is, now once this calculated, now this product, quantity and price, all these three are set to blank or 0 because we are ready to take the next product or next we can insert it. Now that's all this my update. Now this my update is called by other functions. You can see when I am deleting it a row, I will also call my update. Because I want once it deleted again the things has to be recalculated. That is why this function, it kept inside a function, and by calling that function I am recalculating the total, tax and the final total. So this function my select, whenever I am selecting this, you watch this delete button here. So I am selecting a row. Now this is enabled. I can this once I select this, I'll just, this purpose is to activate this button only. You can remove that if you don't like this functionality. Now what happened, moment I click this delete button, this particular function is called. What it does, it just picks up the what is the row which is selected by the user, row ID. Now then it use the delete method to delete that row. Now once it is deleted, again we are putting it in a disabled function mode, and when it is deleted, we want to now our values will bottom, total values will change, that it is recalculating it again by calling the my update function. Now my reset. Now what happens? Now I can click the delete all. What happens when I click the delete all? Let me just demo show it once. Moment I click the delete all, or once the product is added already or the confirmation button is clicked, that time what happens, we don't want anything to be here because it is ready for the next one. So what we are doing is we are deleting, looping through all the tree view. Inside this tree view, whatever rows are there, we are deleting all the rows, and then we are calculating the total. Then this, all this we are setting to blank, except the quantity we are keeping it, as 1. Then price we are again setting it to 0 and displaying the rest of the all this total, tax, all the subtotal, everything we are keeping it because we are making it ready for the next. The final part is once we have done that, then comes the insert data. Now here it is, this button is connected to this function. You can see this above, we will see. In fact, all the box insert data, here it is, the button B4 button, it says confirm. You want something, create bill or whatever text you want, you can replace it here, and then this particular. Now what happens when this button is clicked? First it reads the total, then it reads the what's the current date. Okay, today's date it reads. That is the reason why we have called this. At the top you can see this we have used. So the system date we have taken up. You want to know that date should be something else or dummy, you can manage it here. Then I am creating a tuple using this data. Why I am creating a tuple? Because two things are to be there. So in this table +2 invoice, the table I am storing, there are 3 columns. One is the auto increment ID, that is gives me the invoice ID, and the total and date. Here I am passing total and date as separate parameter. Here you can see the query, you just see this is the insert query, add it to total and date, and here is I am selling, these are all parameters, you use it. Here it is in the same sequence, I have to keep this down. So what happened here in this, while executing, I am passing the query and passing the data separately. I think every time we discuss this also, we say that is to prevent the injection attack. Now the database understands that these parts are not from the user. Sorry, this is not a part of the query, this is the part of the data. So it executes separately. It takes care of the data separately and query separately. That is to prevent the injection attack. Some other time we'll discuss more on that. Now once this is executed successfully, system inside, I told you there are 3 columns, but we are giving 2 datas. So the first column, the that invoice ID or INV ID is added by the system. It's auto increment, so automatically the unique next value is taken, and that I am capturing by using this. Then what happened? Now this data is gone to one table and I am getting the invoice ID or the bill ID, I got it. Against that bill ID, I will be storing whatever the products are available here. So whatever the products I have written, whatever, and that goes to one table only as a invoice number, and then other things but still I have to keep all the products. So let me just fill 2 units here. So 12.4, whatever price I want to give. Now these 2 products against a invoice ID has to be stored in a +2 invoice detail. This is the table name. Here you can see this is the one, and the values are there. But here the values are little different. I am giving a list here because it has to loop through CPU, quantity, rate. These 3 things has to go. So what it is showing is product ID, product, quantity, and price. Product ID is the serial number we are taking. But if you are taking it from database, you can include the product ID here. Then the product, the text part of it, then quantity, what is the quantity, and what price it is. Unit price this is, not the total price. Why? Because the price will keep on changing. At what price today we have sold it may not be same as tomorrow. So the price has to be stored. Now this is the values. But you note that this query is prepared here, but data is created by using a loop. See here, because this is how it goes through each and every row of data and create the data mine list. Mine list is here. My data is a blank list here created, and this is added. So it's not a insert into invoice. Then data is a big list of rows. Here in this case you can see there are 2, so there will be 2 list. You will have 2 rows of data. So that I am executing. Once I am executing that, I am giving a message here telling that the bill number is invoice ID. In this loop, though based on the number of products, everything will change, but invoice ID is fixed. What we have taken from here, the invoice ID, the same one we are using it here. So what happened? Every row will have common invoice ID, and that invoice ID also we are displaying it, and then we are telling how many products. This row count will return me once this is executed, how many records are inserted in the product table, product detail table. So what happened? That will give me that will a confirmation, yes, all my 4 products or 2 products are inserted to the bill, and that message I am displaying it for a period, because I don't want to display it for longer period, because the same screen I'll be using for my next entry. So for that, this part I am using after. So here is this is in milliseconds. So 10,000 millisecond or 10 second. You want to reduce it, reduce this. 10 make it 3, then it is 3 milliseconds, or 3000 milliseconds. So it will be 3 seconds. That's all. And once the data is inserted, I am calling my reset. My reset is the same function here. It will just remove all the data, make the tree view blank and remove all the data. Now let us add one more unit. Sorry, CPU already there. Let me put mouse. Let me give 6. Then some price I am giving it. So add it. Now what happened? You note that there are 3 products are there. So you just insert data. This one you see. First, once I click the confirm button, this will pick up the invoice ID, single ID. Then it will tell me how many products I have stored in the table. So let me just click this. You can see bill number 3, products are 3. It will stay there for 10 seconds. Then it will vanish, because I have set the timer here for 10 seconds. Now this is ready for it has gone, and it is ready to take the next data. So that is how. Now the data have gone to the database, and you from your PHP MyAdmin or whatever tool you have, you can read that and create the bill. That part, that will take it in separately. So here, once I am selecting the product, this particular one, this one line, it creates the event. That's all. This is around 170 line of codes. You can copy it, experiment with that, keep changing it to suit your requirement, and start using it. That's how. And further using this also, you have any better ideas, suggestion or questions, put it in the comment section, so we'll work on it further. My request is, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon, so you'll be notified as and when we add new tutorials. We frequently do that also. Please share this with your friends, and thank you for watching.